Hey there, YouTubies, my friends. This week, we make a temporary grill, as well as we get an alternator working, so we have an operational charging system to keep the battery alive. Stay tuned, check this out. One of the first things I want to do on the Jap-Rod this weekend is get the alternator working. I want to get it charging so this thing can run and not kill the battery really quickly. And I've done a lot of looking everywhere. And this alternator seems to be wired just like every other Chevy 2-wire alternator. So what we're gonna do is the big terminal in there. I don't know if you can see, there's one bigger than the others. And we're gonna hook to that one and go right to the bolt like every other one. And it should be charging. So we're gonna fire it up, test it, and see if it works. And if it don't, then we're gonna reroute and figure something else out. But that's step one, is get the alternator going. Because it's important, so we could just let this thing run for like an hour and not worry about if it's gonna overheat or not, or if the battery's gonna die. You know, there's a couple concerns we gotta get to. Now, the main reason I want to use this alternator and get this one going is simply because the bracket's already there. This setup is a low dollar budget build section, you know, is what I'm saying, like, because the plans is $632, right? So why would we spend a crap ton of money on an alternator and bracketry and all that stuff that might not even fit on that engine anyway? So, see if we get this one working. Should work. I've got the wire hooked in there, clipped right on, bolted right up, really easy. We already had one of these set up prior. So, man, let's get our battery put in there, hook her up, fire it up, put a meter on it, see if we're charging. All right, quick update. It's taking my carburetor baggie off to keep the water out. Well, and I discovered that my tape, my plug that I had here, had fallen off. And it looks like a couple drops of water made its way in there. So plans change, you know, usually quickly around here. So what I gotta do is run to the parts store. I'm gonna get some oil. We're gonna change the oil real quick, and then we'll fire it up, because I definitely don't want oil mixing water. Came back, got the car set up. Figured I'd use it as a lift on the ramp truck. I got my Cardi B to lay on right there. And I came down here, instantly looked at this, and was like, well, no wonder why it feels like there's no dang clutch, because I didn't bolt it all the way in like an idiot. Neither top or bottom bolt is tight, so we'll take care of that while we're down here. It's kind of interesting to see the exhaust from down here. What the hell? Sure, it works. Cross member. Sure. Beautiful drive shaft been rubbed on. Dang it. That's okay. It's fine. Okay, back to the task. Oil change. Let's get this done real quick. Kind of misplaced the pan on the cardboard that's lifted up over there. Oh well, a little splash on it. It's fine. It's fine. Had to get the big boy pliers out because I couldn't get the wrench off. It was overhand tight. But it's going now. Well, at least it was till I got you guys involved. Let's see. There it goes. Look at that. Okay. Sure. Let's do it again. Crush, spin. Okay, I should be able to get it by hand now. New filters in, bolts in. Let's check out if we see any water in there. I didn't see any when it was draining, but there was a second I walked away and missed. So another inspection never hurts. Out in the sunlight, I don't know if you guys could see, it just looks like oil. So, used oil. Never hurts to be too cautious. Looks dark enough that I obviously could have used one anyway, so let's have it. Dump this out. Dump some fresh oil in the engine. Fire up, get back to square one. Alright, the time has come. Let's fire this sucker up and see what happens. Alright, right up. See if it's charging real quick. Come on, buddy. Proof, no charge. For some reason we still have no charge. Alright, well, that wiring diagram may have lied to me. Figured that out. Sounds good though, once it's warming up. New, really hot day. Yep. But I found the problem. Makes me feel real dumb, but it's a really easy fix, which is good. So we should have a working alternator very soon. But let me tell you what I did wrong here, because you guys are gonna laugh. So yesterday when I was testing, you guys had seen we had the 14 volts here, but not over here. Well, look at this wire. Why'd I put the fuse there? In a 30 ampere? That's not gonna do anything. It's 105 amps worth of the alternator. So let me tell you, it's not gonna travel through that wire without popping that fuse. Well, I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't know what amperes this alternator was at. I didn't look it up, wasn't thinking. These little fuses, you can't even get 100 ampere. So if I simply just cut this sucker off, boom, bless you, little man. But if you cut this off, put that little ring in there, hook it up, we should have charging, which is what I'm gonna do. Last night when I was thinking, I was like, man, there's this 12 gauge wires. Maybe it's not big enough. So boom, I made a big mambo jambo. Looking back now, this morning is when I found this fuse after I've already made the wire. So the fuse, you know, well, I'm just gonna replace the whole wire. It's got bad juju on it now. So we're gonna put up my new wire to the alternator, to the battery, test it. We should be good. Little man It's already losing my nuts. That's all right, we'll find it. Oh, that was quick. We got lucky there, didn't we? Just gotta get them. Don't lose them, big man. All right, new cable's on. Much bigger than it really needs to be, but that's okay for now. Got the battery hooked up. Let's check it. Starting voltage. Come on, baby. Please work. What's your guesses? What's your guesses? Winner, winner. Very nice. We did it. We did it. Well, you know, we got alternator working. We might as well drive this sucker around to the alley in the backyard and work on it back there, because we got a grill that we need to weld on here because we had a hailstorm that just really beat up the radiator. So we gotta prevent that from happening again. Okay, flooded it. Whoops. Alrighty. There's like no clutch. Definitely missing a lot. Transmission sounds empty on fluid, but we're moving. Yesterday we got the Civvy around back. I had to boot the Caprice around front because I couldn't get them to fit. And while this one with the open carb and whole front end situation, this one's kind of more important to keep inside. So here it is on the inside. We did get alternator running good. That was awesome. Very nice. And then it was so hot, I went inside to take a breather, eat some lunch, and man, I was a holy cow. It was hotter in my house than it was outside because my swamp cooler had malfunctioned. So I then end up spending the rest of the afternoon fixing the swamp cooler and then got a migraine. So it shut me down for the rest of the day, and I didn't quite get as far as I wanted to. And I really just wanted to get a grill put on here because of this. The hail attacked it in my radiator. So when we're driving, it's gonna get worse. I knew that from the beginning. I just thought I'd get it installed in time. Well, you know what? I didn't. And I'm not gonna spend all the time and bend all these back up, because holy cow, that's hours. So I'm gonna leave it. It's gonna be just fine. We're gonna make a new grill on the outside of it, something to hold this puppy up. Even this thing got some damage. Look at that one. Yeah, well, what you gonna do? Good thing it was a cheaper radiator, so I'm not too hurt about it. If we gotta replace it, it won't be bad to replace. So my goal here is to cover this, as I've said. I got some of this material. Well, because I figured why freaking not, right? It's strong enough because, well, it's 13 gauge. Sure. And it's big enough to do the thing that we need to do. Strong enough to keep rocks, you know, if a rock, boom, punches that, it's not really gonna go through that and wipe out the radiator. So I'm just gonna, you know, bring it around, whoop, whoop. It should be pretty simple, but I gotta stick it out far enough because I need room for this guy, and we'll hang this guy off of the grill because it's strong enough. We'll kind of put it in the middle, make sure it's not too low, but boom. We'll have to make notches in our little grill for our hoses to be able to fit through. This is about the hardest part of this whole thing. Then we get rid of this little chunk of wood. You know, now I'm thinking, should I bring it down there? Nah. It'll be fine. We'll just do a little notch around that thing. Bring it down this low. It's fine. Before I get buck wild though, I'm gonna send the backside with a can of satin black. Because once it's in there, I'm not really gonna be able to get to it unless I take the radiator out, and I don't wanna do that. So we'll spray the backside and then we'll come back and do our thing. Doesn't have to be perfect, we just don't want it to rust. Quick, simple, and dirty. It looks much better. I didn't lie to you, this side's still silver. You know, we're gonna need it to weld on. But boom, something to work with. Now I gotta get a tape measure out and start doing some math and some thinking. Because this is definitely a lot skinnier than that. So I gotta measure from side to side, find my center, and then we're gonna fold it and then figure out how far out I really want it, you know, because we don't want to be touching here, right? Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? Plus we need room for this, so we might be out as far as this little guy. That just might look a little silly, but it's gonna have a purpose. And once we have a bumper and stuff, it'll be fine. It's coming around. We're gonna let that dry a minute. Come back, fold it, weld it. Alright, well, it didn't dry for very long because I figured I'm gonna scratch it when I bend it. I should have bent it first. So what I'm doing is using this metal here, trying to bend it. That's what I'm trying to do.
I know.
Is it perfect? No, but it's working. Check it out. Check it out. Just the shape I was telling you it's gonna be. Aye. It's good enough. We can refine it once it gets on the car. But since I got it bent up, I'm gonna give it a quick shoot of black again. Got our piece kind of sitting up there. Had to notch around our emptier thingamajiggy. Got a little bigger than I expected, but it's fine. No big deal, I'm not mad at it. It is lining up to be right where I want it to. So I'm liking it. The next thing to do is just tack it. Boop. Boop. You know what I mean? And then tack that side. And also, we gotta figure out where to slice and dice our hose slots for our oil cooler, which I did mark on the L metal. Just seem to have lost them on the metal. Couple tacks on this side, one tack on this side. Looking all right. Sure. I'm not mad at it. Got some zip ties on our oil cooler. Also put a couple more tacks on the side, on both sides. Now I do need to figure out how to attach the bottom down here because it's floating. But that's sure for later. Same on this side. We got a floater. We'll figure that out. For now, a temporary grill. It's gonna work until I get the actual setup that I want. I don't hate it either. Not too bad. Hopefully I can sneak a piece of cardboard down there and then spray that black and make that disappear. But I'm digging it. Progress, it's progress. So I'm gonna wrap the video up right here. We got a temporary grill and we got an alternator. More importantly, we have an alternator. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. We'll check out another video. Like, comment, subscribe would be even cooler. Thank you. Laters.